Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Alright, once again, Jake just don't get it. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, of course, double honor scribe. Once again to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who deserve double honors. Also, salutations go out to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth across the four corners, trying to wake up the remaining, hopefully, elect. Alright, this is Naaman to DC Camp. Once again, here's how this devil likes to, alright, capitalize and use Jake, for their own ends. Alright, this is what all this gangster rap and all this shit was about. Getting our people into the prison industrial complex, into the system. Alright, Georgia Legislature hashes out bill that would impose tougher gang penalties. Who can argue? Look how wild and, but again, this is prophecy. Let's go to the scriptures. All right. Let's go to the scriptures because it's all in there. All right. Like that advertisement for, what was it, Prego pasta sauce. It's all in there. All right. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's see, 22. Let's see. Hold on. Nope. It must be 50. Let's see. Nope. Maybe I was right. Hold on. I'll get there. Hold on. It's 20. Yeah, it was 20. This is Isaiah 51 and 20. This is Jake. All right, like I say, this is in the scriptures. Thy sons have fainted. Let's go into that word, fainted. All right. As soon as it loads, lock it. Thy sons have fainted. Strong's H 5968. Ilop. All right, to cover, to enwrap oneself, disguise oneself. All right, in what? All right, you let that lifestyle that the music industry promotes, and guess who's that headed by the way? The so-called Jews, the ones pretending to be you. All right, when you understand it in a whole, here in the Brown Driver Briggs lexicon, it says smear. That's exactly what they're doing to you. All right. Then when you understand this, let's look at the whole thing. Thy sons are enshrouded, enwrapped, their senses obscured. All right, have swooned away. All right. To what? To engage in that lifestyle, to engage in selling drugs. Therefore, what? Your life tends to be short, right? And there's no other group who's being encouraged to do this, all right, except Jake. Why do you think there was this big push when all this first started, going over the airwaves, from the early 90s on up? Because the Edomite or so-called white kids out in the suburbs started listening to this, who, by the way, are still the biggest consumers. All right. Let's face it, they have the money. All right. But it's the idea behind it. All right. And that's what their parents didn't want them to get, because they understood the game. All right. So here you are. And this is done on purpose. Remember, it says here, for example, as it says in rap, for example, their senses obscured. They are so into this. It's like you see people on public transit. It's a spell being cast over them. I mean, they're into it. And I'm like, that is not music. I can't stand that shit. But it's a spell being cast over them. And they're so engrossed in it. Here's another one down here. It says, and wrap oneself. All right. Straight witchcraft. All right. And you're killing your own. All right. But you got to understand, you're also a threat to them. Not as much as one would think, looking from the outside in, but still, yeah, they can move into your neighborhoods. They won't say anything to you because they know you're a bigger threat to yourself than to them. Goddamn shame, but I see it every day because I live in such a neighborhood, being gentrified. All right. Anyway, let's get on with it. It says Georgia House members on Monday turned aside objections that tougher anti-gang sentencing laws would sweep too many young people into prison for long stretches. Like, they're really concerned. You gotta understand, there's an organization called ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council. They meet every year, I believe it's August, in Philadelphia. All right, you know, the private prisons, all that shit, that's them. All right, and all these state execs, such as governors and the like, and you know, their legislatures, they pass these bullshit laws like this to get more of us into the system. That's what it was designed for. Ever since after 1865. All right. Gangs must recruit in order to survive. And we are sending a strong message with this bill that if you come into our state and you are recruiting our children, that we will have severe punishment for you. Not like they give a fuck. All right. Said Sue Hong. What? Sue Hong. There go our enemies. Psalms 83rd chapter. All right. The pride of Moab. I gotta go Jeremiah 48th chapter. The pride of Moab. All right. It says a Lawrenceville Republican who carries bills for Kemp as a floor leader. Senate Bill 44 passed on a 99-74 vote and goes back to the Senate for more debate because the House amended it to include a much reduced version of stricter cash bail provisions that senators are seeking. All right. The bill reverses a trend of Georgia lawmakers reducing mandatory sentences for refusing to add new ones. Now, Kemp and other Republicans who campaigned last year on fighting crime say more criminals must be locked away for long stretches. Sounds like who Jake just elected to the presidency because of their emotions. Something that went on in '94 with that crime bill. See, they're all in it together. Doesn't matter. That's why we say, you know, fuck this system. What good is it? Because me, you, our people are the enemy. We always have been. Like I said, we are prisoners of war. And that's what our people don't understand. All right? We always have been. Continuing on. Opponents say there's no proof that longer prison sentences work. And this is all a game. They know this. They also warn that the law could be used against juveniles tried as adults or older teens who recruit their younger siblings, all right, and friends into a gang. Our laws need to be flexible enough. They need to be nimble enough to allow us to deal with the most violent among us. Here is the most violent on the earth, talking about the most violent amongst us. And restore and rehabilitate the ones that we can, says Tanya Miller, an Atlanta Democrat and former prosecutor. The bill robs our criminal justice system of this carefully crafted balance. Today, people who are convicted of criminal gang activity under Georgia's sweeping anti-gang law can be sentenced to an additional 5 to 20 years in prison, but a judge has the power to waive extra prison time. Under the new measure, judges' ability to waive extra prison time would be reduced. Judges could order less prison time if they list specific findings, including that a defendant didn't have a gun, is not a gang member, has no prior felony conviction, or didn't cause death or injury. Penalties for recruiting minors into gangs will be much stiffer. Judges will be required to sentence those people to at least 10 years of actual prison time unless a prosecutor asks the court to cut the sentence because a defendant provided substantial assistance against other criminals. Prosecutors will also get a new right to appeal lenient anti-gang sentences. What this is going to do is those who are recruiting our youth 17 years of age or younger, you are going to have them off the streets for 10 or 15 years. All right. It says Democrats said long prison terms will be expensive for taxpayers, despite little proof that they dissuade among from committing a crime. All right, because they're looking to get what? That labor. All right, that's what it was designed for in the first damn place. All right. It says incarceration for incarceration's sake makes no sense. All right. Taxpayers are going to bear this cost from this rising prison population, but Republicans argue that criminals respond to harsh penalties by changing their behavior. If you don't behave, well, hold on there, Mr. Senator. You're not allowing parents to be parents, first of all. All right, isn't it supposed to start at the home? Let's go get to the scriptures. All right. You see the hypocrisy here? Here it is, the king of all hypocrites. All right. You took this out of the parents' hands. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. All right. Let's see. The hell did I just do so I can hit the wrong thing? All right. There we go. Here it is. Proverbs 22:15. It says, foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. What did you say? Oh, that's child abuse. We can't have that. 23:13. Proverbs, it says, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. All right, I don't know what happened to my camera here. Hold on. All right, there we go. All right. Proverbs 29:15. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. All right. There you go. And there's plenty more, but we're going to stop right there. All right. So that's what they did. This is all engineered this way. All right. It says the House version of the bill also includes some changes to bail eligibility. That Hong characterizes as putting current practice in the law. It would say that people could not be let out of jail before trial without putting up cash or property if they had been convicted of skipping out on bail in the last 5 years, or if a warrant had been issued for a person's failure to appear in court for a crime other than a traffic offense in the last 5 years. So they setting motherfuckers up. All right. It also calls for a judge to consider a person's criminal history before setting bail. However, that's much less severe than Senate Bill 63, which adds 53 additional crimes to a list of offenses requiring cash bail, including passing a worthless check, or misdemeanors, such as reckless driving or fighting in a public place. That proposal says no one who has been convicted of 3 prior felonies or has been convicted of any felony within the preceding 7 years can be let out of jail without posting cash or property bail. And it says no one could be automatically allowed to leave jail without being required to post bail unless they have appeared before a judge. Alright? So yeah, you know, this is this is all bullshit. This is designed to, once Jake get in there, to keep him in there. Alright? But this is nothing we haven't been telling you and screaming to the top of our voices for years and years and years. But a lot of you still trust in this oppression here. Alright? This is what you do. This is Jake. He just loves it here. Despite any and everything, alright, that's against you. It's not because you're black. The fuck is that? That's a color. There's no one. I've never met a black man. I'm damn sure never met a white man. Alright? Those are social constructs, I'm sorry. But, you know, Jake is still so, well, I'm a black man, you know. They hate me because I'm black. No, they hate you because certain of them know who you actually are. And it has to do with being an Israelite. Alright? So, hey, once again, you know, this is, Georgia Legislature hashes out bill that would impose tougher gang penalties. We are the, how am I going to put it? The gift that keeps on giving. We are their prey. All right. In this political, you know, season such as it is, the highest office, once again, is coming up for coming in play, which is the presidency. Here we go with this bullshit again. All right. And Jake, they use, you know, it's sad. You know, it really is. We have to get the fuck up out of here. But you have to want. All right. You have to beg. You know, prayer is, hey, it's begging. The Most High, please, please bring an end to this shit. All right. Hey, so, once again, whoever's edified, I hope, all right, take heed. And we filter everything through the scriptures here at Great Millstone. All right, so you'll know what time you're in. And as a matter of fact, as a reminder, time is short. The bottom can literally drop out of this bitch at any moment. Hopefully we pay attention to the banks that are crumbling. And this is all being done on purpose. The inflation, which might soon turn into hyperinflation. The CBDC, that's why the system currently has to be done away with. So this is being done on purpose. All right. But in any case, stay in prayer. Pray for a fellow occupant out there on the highways and byways across the four corners, along with the brothers, all right, that are around you. So with that, till the next video, Shalom.